Welcome to Game Crunch Game of the Year 2025. With Brandon.
I paused my Boston for this. So let's make it a good one.
With Nick.
You had 12 months to play the game. You could have
And Mike.
He's not selling it, so no, that's a no.
There are many great games, but there can only be one. There can only be one Game of the Year.
Welcome to Game Crunch Game of the Year 2025. My name is Mike Anastasia. With me today we got Nick.
Hello.
And Brandon.
Yo.
And we're here to talk about the best of 2025. Or the best of the worst, depending on which category. Who knows? Worst of the best? I'm not sure. I could go all the ways. All right. So there are some potential spoiler categories in this episode. We'll let you know when we get to the categories, and we'll try to edit them so they're near the end of the episode. So we will let you know as they come up.
Mm-hmm.
But at least for the most part, at least for right now, you're good for a while. So there's that. Just to recap on how this works. You know, each category, we're going to break it down to a top three. There's going to be one winner, two runners up, majority rules. That is how these categories work. You guys ready to get into it?
Yep.
All right. So we'll pick up where we left off from last time. So now we're on to Best Surprise.
Yep.
Nominees are Kirby Air Riders, Peak, Repo, Clover Pit, Schedule 1, Arc Raiders, and Megabonk. All right, Brandon, take us away.
Yeah. No, you know what? This is Kirby Air Riders first. So, Nick, take us away.
Oh, yeah. Not too often.
So, I think the last time we talked, I don't think either of you owned Kirby Air Riders, right?
I still don't own Kirby Air Riders.
Okay, you
Me
don't.
either. I got Amiibo for it, though.
Why'd you put it on the list?
Amiibo are great.
Wait, I'm sorry, Paul. Why would you put it on the list if you haven't played?
Because
how much you
contrary to
loved it,
popular
that's why.
belief, I'm not the only one that gets to talk during this Game of the Year fucking show. And some other people happen to have games that they really liked a lot. That being you told us how much you loved Kirby Air Raiders, so it's on the list because of that.
I will say I'm not surprised that it was good. Did either of you play the original Kirby Air Riders on the GameCube?
No.
A little bit.
Okay.
But not enough to be able to be like, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
I did play Kirby Air Riders via the test week before.
For sure.
Before the game came out, but yeah.
The test week was definitely not reflexive of the final product in a good way. The final product we got was like a lot more had a lot more meat on its bones. But I played the original Kirby Riders on GameCube I ran that game into the ground. Like I played that game so much. And if you're a fan of that original Kirby Air Riders, you'll absolutely adore this. It's the same. I don't want to say the same game, but it's got the same bones. Obviously, with a lot more content, online play, things of that nature. That just make it so much fun to play with your friends. It's literally Smash Brothers on carts. Like it's just at least City Trial is. The racing's fun. The cast of characters is fun. There's a lot of different boss battles you can encounter in City Trial that represent older boss battles throughout the Kirby series. This feels almost like a anniversary game in a lot of good ways because it's revisiting a lot of Kirby's like older stuff. But it's a hell of a lot of fun. It's something that I've gone back to. I mean, even this year I've played some, but it's something that I was consistently playing and playing. Like I like this game more than I do Mario Kart. Like Mario Kart, if it wasn't downloaded to my system, would probably be collecting dust on my shelf. I think this is a hell of a lot better of a racing game than Mario Kart is. In like many different ways. Mainly because they also don't have a shitty open world.
Yeah,
aspect of
understandable.
it. But yeah, I'm not surprised this game was good at all. What surprises me is that neither of you picked it up because I thought at least Mike, you would have grabbed it.
Yeah, as I sent my message to Nintendo, I'm waiting for a price drop on this. Not like a permanent price drop, like a sale price.
That's fair.
Yeah, or the return of vouchers. That would also do it too.
Yeah.
I think I've said it before, but I do feel like this is the first game that I've purchased from Nintendo at the higher price that felt worth it because it has that content in it.
Yeah.
And there's content updates coming over the next year. That's
This
just
is
like
this
more
is 70, right? Or is it
yes,
60?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I think it's 70. But there's like events happening over the year, and I think there'll be like repeat events too because there's some holiday events where you can unlock bonus items.
Okay.
Sakurai did come out and say that the team behind it's probably going to close up shop soon. They're going to put up a couple more like balance patches and bug updates. But then after that, apparently the team is just dissolving.
Yeah.
They're not doing any content updates.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
basically, whatever you have now is all you're gonna get.
Which is fine though, because what you have now, I think it does feel like a complete package of a game. And like I said, like felt like the first time I've paid for a higher price game on the Switch 2, that felt worth it. It felt like an actual complete package of things, and that I still am finding things to do. Still unlocking things, still discovering things. Like there's things that I think I have like 30 or 40 hours into it, and like I'm still seeing like new things pop up, like new events and new racing modes and stuff like that.
That's cool.
Yeah, no, I absolutely adore this game.
That's more content than Mario Kart World, huh?
Honestly, yeah, soundtrack's a hell of a lot better too.
Okay, I don't know about that. I mean, the Mario Kart World. There's lots of things you can complain about, but the soundtrack's pretty freaking awesome in that.
It's good.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say.
I'm not saying the Mario Kart
what
World
I said about content wise.
Oh no, I'm not going to argue on that side. But the soundtrack for Mario Kart World is like divine.
It is very
the soundtrack
good,
is
but
quite good. Yeah.
I do find myself a lot of the times like I'll be listening to a song and it'll take me like a good 30, 45 seconds to kind of register what I'm listening to. And then I'm like, oh, that's this. Okay, cool. But yeah, no, love the soundtrack. I mainly play Chef Kawasaki because I love Chef Kawasaki in this. My one big complaint is the price of the amiibo, but that's neither here nor there. I'll probably wait until they put them on a deep discount because didn't think I'd ever see this. During the holidays, the Street Fighter amiibo went on sale for a deep discount, as well as the Zelda amiibo.
Yeah,
the Zelda. Yeah. I was like, oh, that's insane. So I'll just wait until Nintendo puts them on Best Buy's clearance for like $10.
Yeah, and I think the amiibo, honestly, I talked about it with Brandon when I got them, but I think they're probably some of my favorite amiibo. They just have a really nice look and feel to them. And I honestly think I probably would have went crazy for them if I was a kid when they had come out because they're pretty neat. But yeah, I'm really excited. I think the Meta Knight one is coming out maybe in about a month or so.
Yeah.
And then there's King DDD and Chef Kawasaki, I think, are getting amiibo later in the year at some point.
I might break down and buy Chef Kawasaki, but who's to say?
Yeah, I mean, if he's your man.
But I can understand like if you're not familiar with the series, like being like, oh, $70 is a lot of money. But I do think you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't have this and a Switch 2. Like this is genuinely like one of my favorite games on the Switch 2, if not my favorite game on the Switch 2, and that's saying a lot when there's a Metroid and a Donkey Kong game currently out for it.
I think. Well, I mean, obviously, I haven't played the full version of Kirby, but currently, I think Donkey Kong is like the best game for Switch 2, easily.
If it ran better, I'd agree, but it does not. So,
no, I know what you mean.
Mainly because like I'll play Kirby Air Riders and like there's like some fast pace scenes and like the game never drops frame rate, never like it runs insanely well.
Well, this isn't a discussion about Donkey Kong, so I'm just gonna leave that alone.
No, that's fine. Well, but what I'm saying is like I know like for some newer games, obviously on the Switch, like the question always is like, oh, can the Switch run it? How's the frame rate gonna be? This game runs like a top. Like Sakurai knows what the fuck what he's doing with this hardware. So, did you guys have any questions about Kirby Air Riders? Like,
no, not for me. What do you think?
No, I don't think so. Not for me either. I mean, I think you talked about it pretty in depth when we got it last time. I think you're probably part of the reason why I think both of us are much higher on it than we were when it was announced.
Yeah.
I think we both did the test drive or whatever they called it too, and that was pretty nice.
It's true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If I had some way to like lend you guys my physical copy, I would. Because like I said, like the online test was fine, but definitely not reflexive of the final product in any way, shape, and form. Like it was definitely like a bare bones test in comparison to, in my
Yeah,
opinion, what
you
you
could
got in the
always
final.
PayPal me. I'll just buy
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
your
yeah.
PayPal, you PayPal me the money
Yeah,
for it. I mean,
yeah, no problem.
yeah. I mean,
But if you know somebody who has it,
I thought about buying it, but the problem is, I got absolutely fucked over by Amazon during the holidays. So
it do be like that. It do be like that. But yeah, no,
yeah,
I absolutely love
two
this game.
monitors with dead pixels back to back.
You know,
Oh yeah.
honestly, to wrap up Kirby Air Riders, like I probably would have put Metroid Prime 4 in Best Surprise because, like, what I said the previous time of, I'm shocked it came out in a decent state.
Ah,
Yeah.
You know,
so the way I looked at Best Surprise, which I didn't write it here, but the way I looked at Best Surprise was a game that was more of a surprise to the general public for just how
like
good
existing.
it is and existence. Yes,
I will
yes,
say,
like it kind of came out of nowhere, and it's
yes.
like, oh shit, okay, wait, this is good, because like we did also have that conversation, right?
Mhm.
Where I quite literally said we have Mario Kart coming out this year and Kirby Air Riders.
Yes.
And it was like one of those moments where
Um,
it was like, are they actually gonna do this? You know? And then
Truthfully,
they did.
I never thought I'd see a new one. I thought we were just gonna get it on the GameCube NSO stuff, and we were just gonna rock out with that. So when Kirby flopped onto the screen and kicked out the little air ride, I was like, "Oh shit, they're making a new one." So like definitely surprising in that way. Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. I do feel bad though because there are two games on this list that I did want to play and I just didn't get around to playing them. One being Clover Pit and the other one being Arc Raiders.
Yeah.
But,
Well, you have your own thoughts about Arc Raiders, which we.
well, for sure, I do. Yeah.
But I do think I'm just gonna hop over to those games, so we'll move over to that, right? Because pretty
Yeah.
much the rest of this list is everything I wrote down. I think you've played Peak though, right, Nick?
No, I don't have Peak. I don't have Repo.
Oh my God!
I
Okay.
don't. I'm not into. Now, this is not me calling those things. I
I know what
have
they're
not.
called.
I have not dipped my toes into the friend slop genre.
Uh huh.
Peak looks fun. Peak looks really good.
So I think the reason why I put Peak on this and it stands out is because this was a game jam game that they made while on vacation with another developer, and then just put up because fuck it, why not? And it
Yeah, why
became a huge runaway success, and it was really fun too. Like, it's not my favorite of the friend slop games, as you just mentioned, which is actually the genre title, but. So I'm not going to hold that against you. Doesn't mean
No,
they're
yeah.
bad.
No. Because
It's
I
not
was
my
also,
favorite, but
I don't know if
it
you've
is
seen
fun.
the meme of like it's all banger like PS2 era, Xbox era games and
Yes,
GameCube. And it's like
yes.
Unk Slop.
Unk Slop. Yeah,
Yes,
I've seen
yes,
those. Yeah, so they're hilarious. I've seen the one where it has all the Unk Slop anime ones, and like
Oh
every
yeah,
single fucking thing is a 10 out of 10 banger.
yeah.
It's like, okay.
But yeah, it's Unk
Uh,
Slop.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, Peak essentially is a game where you climb a mountain with the friends, and it has a lot of the same elements as Breath of the Wild, where you have to actually maintain your stamina and find like ways to climb like large portions of land without running out of stamina and getting knocked back down or falling down. But you're also in a race against the clock to get up there because it's kind of like a like a wall moving in that's going to damage you, kill you when you if you don't get up there in time and whatnot. It's fun. It's a very fun game. The main reason I put this one here, like I stated, is because this game came out of literally nowhere. The developers just made it on a whim because they thought it would be fun, and they did it at like a little game jam that they did with another group of developers, and they were like, "Yeah, let's just put it up." Like, didn't even tell anyone.
I
They
will
did
say
it.
those are the best kinds of games. They just kind of
Kinda. Yeah.
just whoop. Here they are.
Yep. Repo, which is also on here, which you already talked about, another friend slump game. This is a game that I think is really fun due to the physics of it. This is a game where you play as these little robots, and the entire point of this game is to go into like haunted houses with like monsters that are like hunting you down and steal priceless artifacts and things that are worth a lot of money, and you have to like put them inside of a cart that you're dragging around these haunted places and get all this money so that you can buy upgrades and stuff for your character. But it's the fact that you can work together to like pick up these gigantic fucking objects that you then place inside of the cart as you're moving around with your team. And it's just really fun. The actual physics of the game is what makes it so enjoyable. This one personally is my favorite out of all the Friend Swap games. It's so good. It is. I literally had so much fun with this game. I laughed my ass so many times. I continuously laugh my ass off playing this game. It's such an enjoyable title to play. Moving on from those, there's Clover Pit, which is a new kind of roguelike. It's a slot machine roguelike game. It's
Yes,
got
this one was on my radar, and I'm
one's
so sad.
really good, and you really should play it. Yeah, this one, honestly, I played the demo of this, so I knew it was gonna be good, but I didn't know how good it was gonna be, and I was very taken back by just how good the final product was and how much was added to it while still maintaining the same feeling as the demo, and the full game just expands upon everything to make it even better. So, yeah, this game's excellent. Highly, highly recommend playing Clover Pit. It's got that same kind of addictive nature as like Balatro or Vampire Survivors. Just one more game, gotta keep going, gotta get that number up higher, and it's just
Number go
an
up
absolute
machine.
blast. Yeah, number go up.
That was
machine.
me, but I don't know if you played it this year. Nubby's Number Factory.
I did not.
Same kind of premise of number go up game.
Wait, is that the Math Blaster like roguelike?
It looks like the artwork was made in like an early 2000s, late 90s like textbook.
This is the Math Blaster.
Yes.
Roguelike. Okay, yeah, I've heard about this. I haven't got to play it yet, though.
I played it. It's fun.
Okay, this looks cool. Anyway, moving on from that, Schedule 1. This is a game that is a simulator-like game. We're getting a lot of those simulator-like games now, but this one is all about making and selling drugs.
It's an entrepreneur simulator.
Yeah, honestly. And like the actual world that the game exists in, it's got like charm to it compared to a lot of other simulator games. A lot of other simulator games feel kind of like, kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Asset flippish. You know what I mean? This absolutely has its own charm and character to it, and is really fun and really enjoyable. And the actual aspect of like going from being a drug dealer, dealing out of a motel and like building up your actual empire to the point where you have like people working under you and you like automate them to do certain things with certain elements of drugs, because you have like people that have to be like, all right, I need you to crush up the methamphetamine and I need you to put it inside the ovens, and like you actually have to like automate it like it's a assembly line, but you're making meth to sell instead. And then on top of all of that, you have to figure out what your customers like and add different ingredients and mix in different ingredients with the different drugs that you're making to sell to different customers, so that they'll give you more money by making them more addictive and making it so they'll actually want to buy more from you. And it's really fun getting that whole machine going and getting everything all set up, and it's just a really enjoyable game.
Probably don't talk about it in public, though.
Yeah, probably don't.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Might not fly.
Yeah.
That's the only one. So Schedule 1 is the only game I don't see coming to consoles. Like,
oh no, that'll never.
I don't think it will ever make it to consoles.
We're not gonna get a Switch edition of Schedule 1.
You're not gonna get a Switch 2 edition of Schedule 1. But if they do, that would be incredible, and I would highly recommend playing it because it is a blast. And the fact that it is online multiplayer as well, and you can do all this with friends, that makes it even better, in my opinion. So, yeah. Next is Arc Raiders. This is a absolute runaway hit. When I saw initially this game being advertised and everything, I thought nothing of it. I thought this was just kind of throw away, all right, here's the 13th extraction shooter released this week. That sort of thing. Because we've kind of moved on from battle royales, and now we've gone into the oversaturation of the extraction shooter genre.
Mhm.
And Tarkov's a big one, but you get other
Yeah, we got
little ones
Marathon this
released.
year too.
We got Marathon coming out this year, which actually looks pretty good. We'll have to
It
see
does.
how it is, because Bungie is very good at making gunplay games.
They are.
So even if the gameplay itself is kind of mid when it comes to the extraction aspect of it, their gunplay is always on point. But moving on from that, Arc Raiders is a game where I didn't really think anything of it. It looked quite generic. It's got its shortcomings, as we're already going to talk about with the AI aspect of it, where they use a voice bank that's built off of artists and voice actors who initially they have read some lines and everything, and have uploaded their voice to the voice bank so that it can be used to make upcoming content for the game without them having to be brought back into the studio in order to do that sort of thing. So the fact that it is using AI voices is no bueno. However, it is the most fun I have had in years playing a multiplayer game, because even with the fact that the human element of the actual NPC characters has been removed because of this AI bullshit, the actual human element of running into real people and talking to them and basically treating real people like how you continue your quest, how you finish this sort of thing, is so different in this day and age, because of the fact that, everyone's on Discord. Everyone's on their own little party chats. No one's really talking in parties anymore in this day and age of video games. And I feel like Arc Raiders is very different from that, because the actual elements of the game reward you for talking with people, for communicating with people, and because of that, a lot of people do that. A lot of people talk and communicate, and it goes back to those old days of being in an Xbox Live chat and hearing people scream about some bullshit and hearing it down the road, and then finding out what it is later on yourself, like you would when playing fucking Halo or something in online multiplayer or some shit like that. Or it doesn't matter. Just take your favorite online multiplayer game and how you had the human interaction element of it, and multiply that by 10. And that's pretty much what Arc Raiders does really, really well. And that's what surprised me so much about this game. It is a very fun extraction shooter with an interesting world, but the actual voice acting and that sort of shit just doesn't stand out. It's just a whole nothing burger because of the way they handled it. However, like I said, the human element of actually interacting with humans far outweighs what they did with that, making it a very special game to experience. And you'll dump hundreds of hours into it without even realizing that you've done that. Literally everyone I've recommended to play this game has ended up doing that. And it's very addictive. It's very fun. And it honestly really surprised me, because I kind of just went in okay, I'm going to play the new hotness, see how it is. And then it was oh, wait, this is actually really good. The AI enemies are really smart and seem to be learning from what we're doing and trying to kill them. And there's new events every day, and every few hours they add new stuff to it. They have weekly event things. They have a whole ranking system. The matchmaking is done so solos are queued with solos, and duos with duos, and trios with trios, so that it feels fair and it doesn't feel oh, I'm being lopsided, where I'm a one-person thing against 3 other people, and it makes the game feel like bullshit. That doesn't happen here. It feels like the developers actually gave a shit, and it's awesome. It's really, really, really good, and a huge breath of fresh air in what we currently deal with online games that die within weeks. So, yeah. Moving on, Megabonk, which is also another game that kind of came out of nowhere in the indie space. This is essentially 3D Vampire Survivors mixed in with a bit of Risk of Rain, and it is absolutely glorious. It is so much fun and so addicting, and it only costs a few bucks. I think maybe $6 or $10. I don't remember exactly which one it was, but either way, And there's just tons of content here, tons of characters to unlock, multiple tiers and 3 different worlds, a bunch of different weapons and abilities, a bunch of ways to synergize things, and lots of challenge modes that you can play alongside. And it's been getting updates. They recently came out with the Halloween update, which was released on Christmas Day, which was
Nice.
fucking funny and very on brand for this game. Yeah, it's very silly and over the top and just a really, really enjoyable game that, again, was a big surprise because no one had it on their radar. It came out of fucking nowhere and it became a massive hit that ran away with a lot of people's time and money. So, yeah. There you go. I think that's my list of the best surprise games for the year and the reasons why. All right. There you go. We're good.
Okay.
Yep.
I can't remember what I was just going to say about these. Kirby Air Riders and Megabonk are ones that I appreciate the most on this list. Schedule 1's technically early access. I wouldn't disqualify it from this category, but
Megabonk is technically also early access because they keep releasing updates, and I think maybe it's listed as early access. I don't know. That one's a little weird.
Okay.
Not listed as early access. It's listed as released, but it's being
Okay.
treated like an early access title. So I don't fucking. Yeah, Schedule 1 is early access though, but also like I said, you'll probably never see it on consoles. So that's why I was bringing it up in the year that it released.
Allegedly, they haven't ruled it out. Who knows?
It's just, I feel like drugs is the part where a lot of console manufacturers draw the line. So
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, we will. I think we'll see. Probably as it gets closer there, but yeah. But yeah, so I would say Kirby Air Riders, Megabonk. You've talked a shit ton about Arc Raiders, so it makes sense.
I love Arc Raiders.
Yeah,
I'm like I said, it's the human experience that makes that so special and such a big surprise. I'm so surprised that I can ask people questions about Quest and then have them actually lead me to where things are, and I can do the same thing for other players without us trying to kill each other, which is fucking cool. So, yeah.
Yeah.
My pick would be Air Riders, Megabonk, and Arc Raiders, personally. Repo's very close as well, but yeah, I think those 3. What do we want to be number 1 though?
I think I could agree on those 3 as well. Number 1, I mean, what are you guys feeling? Because I mean, I feel like my opinion is going to be different because for me personally, it's going to be Kirby Air Riders.
It's going to be Kirby Air Riders for you. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But
I also understand that that's probably not going to be like the one.
I mean, I tend to lean more towards Kirby Air Riders just for that.
Oh, there you go.
Familiarity, but I don't have any like big horses in this race. Like, I'd be convinced to go either way.
So there you go. You got your answer because that's 2v1.
Well, there we go.
Okay. Well, then what else do we want on the list then?
I thought we started Arc Raiders and Megabonk.
That's what I said.
Oh, I thought we were agreeing.
Okay, I mean that's
Nick,
what you guys want.
Do you agree, or what do you think?
With what?
With Kirby Air Raiders winning, with Arc Raiders and Megabonk being second and third.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Okay, cool.
Right.
There you go.
All right. So that surprise goes to Kirby Air Riders with runners-up Arc Raiders and Megabonk. All right, that's that. Next category: things that need to stop.
We got a lot of them this year.
I know.
This is gonna go good.
Category: Return from the Dead with a Vengeance.
Mm-hmm.
Things that need to stop: game key cards, AI use in video games.
Specifically, without informing the buyer beforehand.
Maybe for you, but I don't think that applies to everyone.
All right, fine.
Treating GTA 6 like it will be the savior of video games. Trying to make $100 games a thing. $80 games with less than half the content of its $60 counterpart. And making every game into a Souls-like. That is our list.
I personally have 3 that immediately stick out.
Yeah, go on. Let's hear them.
I mean,
I wrote
AI's
all of these.
AI's number 1.
I know it is.
$80 games with less than half the content for sure would be number 2 for me. And then game key cards. You know what? There's 2 on the other 2 on here. I'm actually a little bit confused about because making every game into a Souls-like. Okay, I understand that. I actually get a lot of flack
Mhm.
in a group of friends of mine because I'm like every Souls like is the same, and I'm like this is just kind of slop at this point. But I haven't seen GTA being treated like it's going to be
Oh
the savior of
my
gaming.
god. You have
Is that
not
is
been.
that for
That is a
real?
thing. That is a thing. That
That's
is a thing.
crazy.
There are
That's
people that
insane.
are being like, this is what's going to save this generation. This is the reason why you should buy this system, why you should have a console, why you should do this, that, and the other. There are people that are like parading it around like it doesn't matter that the PlayStation has been pretty mid for the PS5 generation. You need to have one so that you can play GTA 6 because it will be the most in it will be the biggest game and the most important game to release in the last 30 years. And it's like, bro, shut the
For like,
fuck
I
up.
guess that's true for like NPCs. Like if you're an NPC gamer for sure.
There's too
Um,
many NPC and ball and gun gamers, and because of that, that's
See, I don't know it because I own GTA 5 on multiple platforms, and I mainly just played the multiplayer with friends. It
yeah.
never really kind of grabbed me as like a game that I would want to sink a lot of time into.
So I put
Um,
hundreds of hours in GTA 5. I
yeah.
finished in 100% of the main story of GTA 5, and I thought GTA 5 was very, very good for its time.
Uh-huh.
However, there is no way that GTA 6 cost as much. Like I've seen literal people talk about it like it will be the next coming of Christ that have nothing to do with video games. Like these
Wow.
people are like YouTubers or news people or whatever that are treating this thing like it is the next best thing since sliced bread. I literally saw a thing the other day where these people that do like quizzes went over a quiz where they talked about like true or false, and the true or false was like, is this thing more expensive than the cost to make GTA 6? And I actually learned that you could make 40 Eiffel Towers and GTA 6 still cost more than that.
Is
Yeah,
that
makes
adjusted for
sense.
inflation?
I I don't know. I think we're going by the price
That's
they initially paid.
that's
I know
insane.
I know a like B-78 stealth bomber or whatever cost less than GTA 6 does to create. And that's just insane. Apparently it's $3 billion so far that's been pumped into GTA 6, which is
I
the most expensive thing ever.
so I could
So a bunch of like normies are treating it like it is God's gift to man because it's the most expensive piece of entertainment that's ever been created.
here's my issue though with those
Mhm.
people is that like there's no confirmed numbers for anything. And I
Oh no,
think once you start getting into like the multiples of $1 billion, like I don't think people understand how much $1 billion is.
No.
so
Um,
apparently it has been confirmed they've spent 2.8 billion, almost 3 billion on GTA 6. That is confirmed.
from who?
Some business insider as well as Rockstar themselves.
Okay, well I'll take the Rockstar themselves then. Probably just a drop in the bucket considering all the money they've made on their online content.
Yeah.
But it's so weird because you see this a lot in other spaces as well. Like you'll see this in like music spaces, where people equate like the amount of money something is worth or
Yeah.
the sales that it gets to how good it is, and I'm like that doesn't really
Exactly. And there's
doesn't
so many
yeah.
people doing that for GTA 6. They're
That's
like, it
wild.
costs $3 billion. So of course it's gotta be the best thing ever. And I have a hot take. I actually think GTA 6 is gonna be dog shit. I think it's going to be one of the most disappointing games ever that has the biggest honeymoon period, and then everyone turns on it in like a month.
Here's the problem: is I think people forget just how bad Rockstar games can be when they first launch, because we haven't had a Rockstar game launch in like what?
I was there for both GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2.
When did Red Dead Redemption 2 come out? Was that like
either 2020 or 2019? I can't remember. Maybe it was 2018. Let me double check.
So that game was fucked at launch. So I guess people don't remember that.
2018. Jesus. Doesn't feel like it was that long ago. Maybe the PC version was
I'm gonna
later.
look into my crystal ball here because when's the release date for it? Do we know?
Well, seeing as though their entire building blew up yesterday.
They said they're fine. They said we're all good.
Yeah, just wait for the next delay.
So the current release date is November 19th, 2026, which, by the way, you're like tippy-toeing the 20.
By the way, it was May 15th or something.
It was.
Literally 30 days ago.
So I think November comes up, 2026. The game comes out, and it's a mess. You have NPC gamers being like, no, bro, it's fine, hop on and play. It's gonna be a mess.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe an 8 out of 10 at best.
It's 7.
You'll have some glazers give it a 10 because it's Grand Theft Auto. But we haven't seen any. I mean, we got that initial teaser trailer.
We've had literally
we've got,
a minute and a half of footage from the game.
Yeah, we've got nothing,
and that's it. And none of it's gameplay.
And I will say this now. It's currently January 20th as of us recording this.
Yes.
If we do not see anything by June, this game is not coming out this year.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I'm thinking the same thing. I give it until
Summer Games Fest. If nothing gets shown off by Summer Games Fest, this game is not coming out this year.
Yep. That's how I feel as well. I kind of went off of that to the next one also here, which is trying to make $100 games a thing. We've got games that are releasing at $80 that just aren't worth the $80. They are not. It is not a thing. We have games releasing at $70 that are not worth $70. They're not. It's just not a thing. Well, I don't give a fuck about your inflation. I don't give a fuck about how much it costs you to make games, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. When you're sitting here and you're telling me, well, we're going to be using AI to do this, that, and the other. Cool. Then you don't need to raise the fucking prices. Shut your fucking ass up and release them at the prices they are currently now.
I was going to mention that. There's a lot of devs coming out saying, oh, well, we're using
AI. We've been using AI.
To make things cheaper.
We just didn't tell you.
And I'm like, well, you're not making things any cheaper because you're not charging any less.
Nope.
So that's not happening. Also, $100 games is definitely going to come. They're just waiting for one person to pull that trigger. It might be Grand Theft Auto 6.
I think with our current situation, right, specifically the world situation right now, and I don't want to get too far into it, but I think with the way things currently are in the world, if they were to release $100 games, they would speed run an ET Atari situation.
I mean,
I don't think it would be that dramatic, but
I think it would. I think it would.
I think you'll know, because I think you'll definitely have a lot of people who are going to buy it, regardless of the price. I think you could charge $300 for Grand Theft Auto 6, and you could still pull up on Best Buy at midnight, and there's going to be a line. There's going to be a line
for GTA 6. Yes. Specifically, because they are psychopaths for that game. Going back to what I said, people treating it like it's the savior of gaming.
For sure.
But I would say, for any other Tom, Dick, and Harry Ubisoft release, or fucking even Nintendo at this point, you're not going to have people that are going to support that.
So
that price.
and for me personally, I already kind of said to myself this year, with $80 games being the normal now, which sucks. Mm-hmm. I'm definitely going to buy a lot less first party stuff, and I'm probably going to dabble more in third party or
buy indie
or indie stuff. No, indie stuff as well. Just because I'm a lot of the good experiences I've had over the past couple of years have been from $10, $20, $30 indie games, and not from these full-fledged price AAA, or if you're Ubisoft, quadruple A fucking games. So no, I agree with both of those. I don't know which one I agree with more, because I know $100 games are gonna be a thing, but I would be lying to you if I didn't say that. I said this before, I think, when we were talking about the Nintendo Switch 2 stuff, where I'm like, listen, if you're going to charge me $70, $80, $100 for a game, it better have the content to back it up.
Yes.
And if it doesn't have that content to back it up, then you've ripped me off. So
I feel
if I'm looking at this list, I think I'm more pissed off about games being more expensive with less content than what I know is going to happen.
I agree.
Games.
I agree with that. I think, for me, out of all this list, it's probably games being expensive with less content, AI in use in video games, and man, game key cards, they suck. They're not going to stop.
They do suck. Yeah, they do suck.
Nothing is going to stop that from happening, sadly, because
Yeah.
that's the way.
And I think the
Nintendo
biggest
is right now.
shortcoming of game key cards on this list is like this is happening on other systems too. It's not
It is.
Nintendo exclusive. Although I think I don't know if it's better or worse getting a Xbox game that has nothing on the disc. I'm not sure. But
so I believe there are like
I'd say that's worse.
10 games across Xbox and PlayStation that you can get on disc that don't have a full game on disc that you can play in some way. However, Nintendo Switch 2 specifically already has 21. I don't think that's acceptable.
So I will say, to Mike's point, he was saying, I don't know what's worse, the key cards on the Switch 2 versus key cards on like Xbox or whatever.
Yes.
And I think, at least for me right now, the way it stands, I like the implementation on the Switch 2 more than those other systems, only because if you have a family account, like, you can lend that key card to somebody else in your family.
You can lend a
nice.
disc to someone on Xbox or PlayStation.
But like I can't if I have a friend who lives like an hour away, I have to drive an hour to give him the disc, or I could just say, hey, he can now borrow this digitally and I'm still sitting on my couch. Can you
send key cards?
You can, like, in a family thing, yeah.
Is that true? Because I thought they still had to be inserted into the system physically.
No. If you buy, like, digital games are also classified as key cards.
That's not the same thing. We're talking about the physical ones with key cards on that are key cards. That's different. That's not what I was thinking when I wrote this thing down.
That's my misunderstanding.
Yeah, no, I was talking about, you know how Nintendo has two different classifications of what game physical you can have.
You know what confuses me with
what?
that?
Yes.
I did my own kind of like deep dive into it. Like I think in November or whatever. I thought originally key cards were for games that were too big to put on a Switch cartridge.
No.
They're not.
It's the opposite.
And there's
the smaller games get given key cards.
There is no rhyme or reason as to what does and does not get a key card.
Yep.
Well, the rhyme or reason is whatever the third-party developer wants to do. Nintendo first party has been so far.
Yeah, at this point,
all physical. Like if you buy a Switch cartridge, the game is on the thing. Mm-hmm. There are some limitations in terms of the Switch cartridges, apparently. So because Ubisoft came out and was like, "Hey, Outlaws 2 or Outlaws or whatever, Star Wars Outlaws, whatever the fuck it's called." They said it's not fast enough. The key card is not fast enough for their game in terms of like the download speeds off of the card. So I said that's why they did the key card.
Believe Ubisoft.
I think it was
loves to lie.
By other sources too, but I don't know. Obviously, you have on the flip side, you have stuff like Cyberpunk, which is obviously a very graphically intensive game. That's a full. They actually took advantage of the standard card and everything is on the cartridge.
Mm-hmm.
So it's obviously for some more.
But that's also part of the reason why I don't understand why they'd be like, yeah, Star Wars Outlaws, a game that has an open world but is also segmented with loading screens, yada yada. Yeah, it can't be used on a key card. It has, it can't be used on a full card. It has to be a key card. And then you have something like the fucking amazing Cyberpunk 2077, which is on a full size card. That's why I think Ubisoft is literally just fucking lying. And it's Ubisoft.
Because I thought originally, I was like, all right, well, if it's a game, let's say it's a game that's too small. I think they only have one standard size currently of Switch cartridge.
Yes, 64 gigs.
Yes.
Okay. So originally I was like,
for a physical card.
Have. Well, I think it's this year they're implementing smaller sizes for cheaper.
Supposedly,
cards. Supposedly. Yeah. So originally I was looking at it, I was like, all right, well, are they doing key cards because they have a smaller card? No. Wrong. Okay, cool. Are they doing it if it's a game that's too big to fit on the card? No. Mm-mm. That's not also why. So
they're doing it because it's the cheapest card. That's why.
But it's not, because it's still a 64 gig card.
No,
you're still paying for a 60.
A game key card is not a 64 gig card. You're not paying for a 64 gig card. A game key card can be any size and is way cheaper than a 64 gig
But
on the physical
they don't
card.
make different size cards yet.
They make two different sizes.
That's coming this year.
They make They make two. They make two different sizes. They make the 64 and is it 20 or is it 32? Which one is it?
For what?
I thought
hold
they
on.
just straight up made the 64 right now.
Hold on.
Yeah, in terms of physical cards, it's just the 64.
Yeah.
And then there's the game key card.
Yeah, there it
I
is.
don't know
Okay.
what Brandon's asking about.
Yes. So the game key card, which is
Mhm.
not a physical card, can be anywhere between 8 and 32 gigabytes. That's what that is.
Okay.
So if you want a physical card, you can only use the 64 gigabyte card. But if you have anything that's below 64 gigs, or if you also just don't want to pay for the more expensive card, then the game key cards are up to 32 gigs, and those aren't physical.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there also is, and so we're using these two, but there obviously is like a third category somewhere that's available because there's enough games that are like Switch and Switch 2 cards that don't quite fall into that category. And I'm not sure if it's just they're using a Switch 2 card, and it works on both systems, or if
They
they're
have
using a
done
Switch
that.
1 card.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying I don't know which way those went because obviously there's enough examples where like, hey, this plays on Switch 1, Switch 2. But whether or not it's like just a 64 gigabyte card and it just works on both, or if it's like a Switch 1 cartridge that fits everything and then works on both, that I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But it does exist because obviously they did it with the Switch 2 editions of first party games, and I think some other ones. There were some third party ones that have done it too. But yeah, I mean, I think at least in terms of physical games, you know, I think just in general, like if you are releasing a physical product, you know, it should be made to
physical
play
product.
off of that disc.
Yep.
Or
I
a cartridge, whichever it is. So I think just in general, because I think even in this year, I think we've seen a few more games across systems that have done it. Like I know, what was it? Doom: The Dark Ages, I think was
Yes,
one.
Doom
off
did
the
do
top
it.
of my head.
Yep.
We were talking about Indiana Jones, even though that was an end of the year release. But
Yep.
I think we decided that
I
was
think the
likely one too.
PS5 version ended up being on disc, if I'm not mistaken.
And that makes a little bit more sense because it was, I think, 6 months later than the Xbox One. But yeah, I mean, there's games that are doing it. Otherwise, I mean, PC's been like that for decades. But yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I mean, I think for me in this category, I would probably say, you know, the where would I go with this one? Probably, you know, the $80 games. I think maybe would be my top thing. You know, I understand, you know, development costs are going up, and especially with the way the economy is, there's got to be some push. It's got to go up. Like, I'm not upset the prices are going up, but at least try to make them on par with, you know, what we had been getting in terms of content. I think that would, you know, if you had the same amount of content and the price just went up, that would be it. In terms of $80 games so far, is Mario Kart World the only one that we really have?
It is the only one on Switch 2.
Isn't it?
No,
Okay.
Metroid is 70.
70.
Yeah. It's the only $80 game we have on Switch 2. I believe there were two more that released this year on Xbox that may have gotten walked back.
That was the Outer Worlds 2 got
Outer
walked
Worlds
back.
2 got walked back before it fully released. And then there was another one. I can't remember what the fuck it was.
Okay. So there's still not a ton yet. So
they're testing the waters, and the waters aren't looking so hot.
No, but I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I'm sure they probably even saw, you know, kind of how Mario Kart's reception was, and they were like, maybe it's not quite right at the time yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I agree with that one. And I guess, you know, subsequently, you know, trying to make $100 games a thing, that's kind of goes along with that.
Yeah, so maybe we don't really need that one. I mean, I obviously I've talked my piece about GTA 6 and whatnot for that one, and we didn't really tackle Souls-like, but the main reason I put that one on here is you're seeing games that weren't Souls-likes before being tried to be adapted into Souls-likes now, and game like styles that weren't like games that had a certain style now being adapted into Souls-likes because it just feels like everyone like latched on to that when Elden Ring won Game of the Year, and they're like, oh shit, the only thing we took away from this is that people like Souls-likes. Make everything a fucking Souls-like. And that's essentially what happened. And
yeah, I mean, that's typically how it goes. I mean, how many people trying to hack the next Balatro clone last year did we have?
That's very true.
I know, and before that, it was everything has to be a Breath of the Wild clone.
Yep.
And,
yeah. I mean, some of them hit, some of them don't. But, you know.
I agree. And then there's the AI use in video games. And I wrote here, and you kind of changed it, what I said, Mike, but I do think what I wrote here stands more to reason, because I wrote specifically without informing the buyer beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at a game case right now, you've got an ESRB rating, you've got the developer, you've got the publisher, you have what game engine it's on, if it's on in certain cases. When you look at a case, I think that they need to treat AI the same way as they do that. Include it in the credits, it was made using this, that sort of thing. Not specifically for, back when we were doing the rough draft, we did this, that, and the other. But if you've left things into your game and it's done using AI in some fashion, then you should have to inform the buyer, just like you do with all the other things you've used to make your game, that you did this. I feel like people are being kind of shady right now in a way where some devs even said, oh yeah, we're all using it in the gaming industry. We're just not telling you. I don't think that's okay. I just don't think that's okay. I don't care if you I don't care if you care about AI or not. I think that a product that's being used in the production of a game should have to be disclosed to the buyer, either on the packaging or in some splash screen before the game starts up. Because we see that with stuff like Unreal Engine 5. We see that with stuff like, Unity. We see that with stuff like this is this publisher, this is this developer, this, that, and the other. Why should this one aspect be hidden from the general public unless you're just doing it for nefarious reasons because you think what you're doing is not okay? And that's why I specifically put the without informing the buyer beforehand, because you're going to have pretty much everyone going forward using this in some fashion. If you are an informed buyer, then you could choose to not give a shit, just like everyone else does. Do people not buy Unreal Engine 5 games? Yep, some people don't. Are some people not going to buy games that are made using AI? Absolutely. That's their choice as a buyer, and it's important to be an informed buyer so that you can make these decisions, just like you can with the ESRB and everything else I've listed. That's the thing that I think should happen going forward, and the fact that devs are quite literally laughing in people's faces right now and being like, we all use it, we're just not fucking telling you, that's just ridiculous. That's just crazy. You shouldn't be able to say that and get away with it. It's not okay.
I think my main thing is that I'm mostly against the generative AI.
Yeah,
but
I feel you there.
I think too here what the problem is that AI has become such kind of like a blanket buzzword term. Yes. You could call it when Mike edits our podcast and there's that tool that he uses to clean up any dead space. That can be considered AI, but it's AI in the sense of...
So could a Google search now, because Google just uses fucking AI a lot of the time it uses search results.
It uses Gemini to kind of collect different search results and just make its own thing.
That's not the information I'm looking for. I'm looking for
sure. Well, 9 times out of 10 it's wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Because again, it's kind of like the same thing of garbage in, garbage out. If the AI is being fed garbage, you're going to get garbage back. But I think what my problem is just it's too broad of a term, and I think where kind of things are getting lost in the woods a little bit is that people are using AI to describe every kind of tool that they use.
Yes.
When in all actuality, what they mean is they don't want generative AI. Generative AI is the no, the bad one that's stealing from people.
Yes.
But if you're using an AI tool to scan through code to look for issues or whatever, those kinds of things, I'm all right, that's more machine learning, that's more of a tool.
Yes.
Whereas generative AI is I need you, or even in an art aspect, or if you're using it to storyboard things or to write script, that's a problem.
Yeah, that I agree with you there, and I do think that is a problem that needs to be
Yes.
disclosed or have
But I
some
think-
kind of regulations put in place.
But I
And-
think where the problem comes with that is like it's saying having a game case that says AI was used is like kind of lifting up a carton of milk and being like may contain milk. Like
No. I don't mean specifically say, "Hey, we used AI." I mean, like,
Yeah.
if someone used Gen AI, be like, "This game was made using Gen AI," or like, "These art assets were made using Gen AI." It's just
Yeah.
like if you are using Unreal Engine, you know someone's using Unreal Engine because they have to disclose that. If you are using Unity, you know someone is using Unity because they have to disclose that.
No, for
I think
sure.
that same disclosure should extend to certain AI tools, specifically ones for the creative process.
I can agree with that. No, I can definitely agree with that because it's like if you're gonna fight, oh, I shouldn't have that badge on my case. I'm like, well, then don't fucking use it.
Yeah.
You know, and in the case of what we were talking about in the last category with Arc Raiders, I know that the voice actors signed on to have
Yes.
AI versions of their voices be used, but like,
Mhm.
don't fucking do like, why are we doing? Like, in my opinion, if you start to kind of give it an inch, it's going to take a mile.
You're 100%
You know,
correct. I
know.
did find it funny that Bungie, for their announcement of Marathon and its release date, their announcement listed all the actual voice actors that they use that are human voice actors for the characters.
You know, and obviously, like a big point of contention this year was,
and our boy Ben Starr needs more money. Apparently,
he does. He's a great guy. You know, and one of the funniest kind of twists of fate, you know, a big brouhaha this year was that Expedition 33 was using generative AI, which is funny in the context of the game when their main person that they're fighting is an artist.
Mhm.
So that's pretty funny. But I would just revert it to, instead of disclosing it, just don't use it. Like it's already come out from different developers that it's not helping them save any time. It's not helping them save any money. They are literally just doing it to do it, and they're doing it because everybody else is doing it. And I'm like, that's no, that doesn't make any sense. Like, do your own thing. Like, you don't have to use this tool because everybody else is using the tool. It's just goofy. So for me personally, that would be like my number one thing. Like, I'm already not going to buy your game if I can identify by looking at it that it's using Gen AI, or by ear, or whatever kind of tool that you used. So I don't know. I personally believe that should be number one.
I personally believe it should too, because specifically, not because all AI is bad, which, I mean, it is in some cases, in most cases, but also the fact that legally these things have to be disclosed for other things. Why shouldn't it be here? And I also don't like the fact that there are some developers now that are coming out and being like, "Oh, you were all doing it. We just aren't telling you." That's like comically evil. Fuck you. Honestly.
That is shady. But yeah, you're gonna charge $100 for a game that you didn't even make assets for, and you're gonna ship it out.
And then there's running into $100 thing or $80 thing, which is the more likely one, because
it's gonna be in GTA 6 too. Like, there's gonna be like
I'm positive there's gonna be
some radio station or whatever.
I don't think they'll
100%.
do radio. I don't think they'll do radio. Maybe like the disc jockey voice.
That's what I meant. Like, there's going to be some disc jockey radio station. Where
I thought you were saying like they'll do some radio station that's AI music.
They might. Honestly, there's AI bands charting on Spotify.
Although,
so
I was just thinking about it. They could do it tongue in cheek, because that is something that GTA is very good at.
That's
to be completely honest.
That you turn on the AI radio station, it's all just shit. And you're like, oh,
yeah, and like your player character comments on it while you're driving to your next mission.
Yeah.
What the fuck has happened to this world?
What's going on?
Yeah. Honestly, I think that's kind of funny idea. And I could see it happening.
Or I mean, you could have a AI voice talk about stuff that you're doing in real time too. Mm-hmm. Like on the radio.
This is all a very GTA thing.
Yeah. But it's funny too, because like I've had this conversation with other people, and they're like, "Well, don't you want the characters to react what you're doing in the game in real time?" I'm like, "No, I don't give a fuck." I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, and it depends on the game too. Like a lot of games, it really would not necessarily work. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you want to use it for something like Animal Crossing and maybe have some more genuine interactions with some of the villagers. Yeah, you could do something like that. But for something that's story driven, AI is going to make it a lot more difficult. It's going to be
Well,
harder to tie that narrative together.
you know what's funny? I already know Nintendo's never going to use that because if you remember correctly, who was it this past summer they added the Darth Vader AI to Fortnite, and that quickly went off the rails.
It sure did. He was calling people slurs by the end of the day.
I don't know what
Really?
I'm saying, like
Yeah,
I
it was
they made up
hilarious.
They made up
It
some
was
new
awful.
ones. Yeah, no,
They
it was
did.
really
They,
bad.
oh my god, there's a compilation that's really fucking good. That whole thing.
So I think Nintendo might have seen that and are like, maybe we don't use that because the last thing we need is like, an Animal Crossing villager just saying like the most vile string of things and it'd be unintelligible from our actual voice acting.
Yeah,
I mean, you could already get them to say some pretty vile things if you try.
That's
hard
true.
enough.
No, that's true.
that's true.
But
So yeah,
yeah,
I think that's my pick personally. And then runners up the $80 games and game key cards. Easy.
Mike,
What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, what do you think?
like I said, I already said $80 games is probably where I would put things, at least at the top of my list. AI in video games isn't going away, so
I'm not asking for it to go away because I know I can't win that. I'm just asking.
It's literally
for people to
things that
disclose it.
need to stop, Brandon. That's the category.
That is the category.
No. I said when I wrote this specifically without informing the buyer.
To be
To
fair,
my credit, I
be
wrote
fair-
that. It is written right there. You're the one that changed it when we were reading them.
to be fair, none of these things are going to stop. We're still going to get key cards. We're still going to get more bullshit Souls-like games or
Yeah, that's
crab-likes, if you
That's
will.
true. Oh, the crab-like games are good though. Come on, Another Crab's Treasure is a fucking peak video game.
Well, that's just because it has what's his name in it.
What?
Michael, what's his name?
Myers?
Oh, no. Hold on, it's escaping me. Michael Reeves. Michael Reeves is in Another Crab's Treasure.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he plays the bad guy.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That makes a bit more sense.
Anyways, it sounds like you guys want to give this category to AI use.
Yeah.
So we'll go there. And then runners up. I think we're all on the $80 game as one of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then what did you want to do for the third one? Did you want to do the key cards?
I think it's key cards.
I
What do
agree
you?
with key cards.
Okay, key cards.
Okay, that's fine.
Easy.
I do remember. I guess people like it kind of went away, but I remember. I think it was the last Street Fighter that came out. People were up in arms because the DLC was already on the disc, and like you're just kind of buying access to it. I'm like, it's so weird how quickly people forget. Like this is just kind of like the same thing.
I don't think it's the same thing because there's a very big difference between having a physical item that you buy for a large sum of money and own physically, but you don't actually own it physically. That just sucks.
Yeah, but I mean that's technically how it is. Even if you do have it all on a disc.
Already listed. There are 10 games between the PS5 and the Xbox One X that have this problem. I mean, Xbox Series X that have this problem.
Yeah, no,
the
but
Switch
I'm just saying
2
in general,
has existed for the Switch 2 has existed for not even a year yet and already has double that.
Okay,
that's
I get it, but that's not what I'm talking about at all.
Okay.
I'm saying that just in general, any disc that you buy, you technically don't own that anyways. Like the way that the stupid licensing is these days.
Yes, but it is if it is physically on the disc, you do have the rights to that, and it can't be taken away from you because you could just turn off the online or not update it because it's already all on the disc. The only thing that would destroy that would be like disc rot, which is obviously a problem, but you could still play that no matter what if you had the physical disc with 99% of the games that are released on modern hardware still. At this point in time. Not saying in the future that's not gonna change. We already seen people making advancements to try to change that with stuff like DRM tied to their fucking disk drive with Sony PlayStation 5. But yeah, they can't physically take the physical disc away from you.
That was a thing since the 360. If you want to get No.
And even discounting, what you were saying, like the 10 games or so or whatever.
Yeah.
There still are plenty of games from the PS5, Xbox side of things, going back generations that while the discs may not be empty, they may not necessarily be
the best
optimal
version
to play
Yep.
it.
Nope,
Yeah.
you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I do agree with you there.
But my point was, what I was trying to say earlier was, I get what you're saying, but really at the end of the day, the console, the video game manufacturer's stance is, even with the physical discs, you don't own them.
It sure is, but
games.
also their same stance is piracy is. I mean, not piracy. Their same stance is emulation is piracy, and that's just not true. So fuck you. I don't give a shit what you say. It's what I can actually do. Go fuck yourself.
Anyways, next category. Best artistic approach. Nominees are Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, Unbeatable, Ina, Dream Barbecue, Skate Story, Hades 2, Fly Night. Yes.
Yep.
I did play Unbeatable.
You did play Unbeatable? What?
I played the demo for Unbeatable.
Oh, okay. What do you think?
I didn't buy the full game because the demo ran like shit.
Oh,
but the game looks very pretty. The game is very. I PC and Switch or PlayStation.
Oh, PlayStation, not PC.
PC and PlayStation.
Wait, how did the PC version run bad for you? I'm confused.
In the very beginning, when you're in like the little cabin, like the next part of the game didn't trigger, so like there was just nothing. I couldn't do anything.
That's so weird. Okay, well,
yeah, but it is a very pretty game. It is a very pretty game.
I mostly not I wouldn't say necessarily pretty. I think the aesthetic of it is really nice. It feels very like 80s, 90s cartoon anime style.
I get early Studio Trigger from it.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
There's other games here. All right, what else? What are we talking about?
Well, I didn't play Dream Barbecue.
You can literally look at it and then understand. That's the amazing thing about this category. You can literally look at the game and get your thoughts across by just looking at it like a video.
Oh wow. Okay, that's good. I've seen Skate Story. Fly Night. I'll also Google Fly Night and look at that with my eyeballs.
That one's pretty good. I highly recommend looking at that one with your eyeballs on a video because that's what makes it so interesting.
Is this RuneScape?
That is 100% what it's like. It is like 15 FPS built into the actual frame rate, but not the actual frame rate. It's more like the actual animation of the characters in a RuneScape style game that plays like fucking Kingsfield.
Okay. Let me get a good one here. Okay, I'll do this one. It's just a fly.
Yeah.
This is a Sega Saturn game.
It kind of feels like it, yeah. It's really cool though. It's really cool and the aesthetic of it's awesome.
Oh my god, this is great.
Yeah, I guess you
That's so good. Alright, Fly Night's pretty cool. Why is Metroid Prime 4 here? Who the fuck invited Metroid Prime 4?
Who the fuck put Metroid Prime 4
Who invited Metroid Prime 4? Have you seen Fly Night?
Brother, have you seen Hades 2 or Skate Story or Ina Barbecue or Unbeatable or Fly Night? Bro, what the fuck? Who invited you?
Mike, did you play any of these besides Metroid Prime 4?
I think I know who invited Metroid Prime 4.
Huh?
I was making a joke saying, I think I know who invited Metroid Prime 4 now.
Well, I mean, I put it on the list because I put it there when I was putting it up initially. Yeah. Metroid Prime 4 has some incredible environmental design.
It does.
So I know you guys are laughing, but it's got a really nice aesthetic to it.
Metroid Prime 4 is the most AAA game that Nintendo's made in a long time, and it actually looks like one. That's the reason why I was like, why is it in this category? Because that's just like, it looks pretty.
On the same list as Hades 2 is Hydrogen Bomb versus Coughing Baby.
You're so right.
I will agree though, but Prime 4 does look really, really pretty.
Brother, Skate Story is
amazing.
A cinematic
way. In a cinematic way, it looks very, very nice.
I personally think anything on this list that isn't Skate Story or or Unbeatable is gonna have some trouble. Especially against Skate Story. Skate Story is a fucking masterpiece to look at. I'm surprised you haven't played Skate Story, Nick.
I did.
Oh, well,
But,
I
like-
meant the
like a
full
long time
game,
ago.
not the one that was in alpha mode in fucking PAX.
Oh yeah, it did not look like this in alpha.
No, it looks amazing, doesn't it?
It looked like wireframe before.
Nope. Now you're a demon made out of glass and pain.
Like PANE or PAIN.
Pain.
You
It's
said made of
painful when you
glass.
die.
Okay,
Yeah.
you said glass, and I was like a glass pane?
No, I think it's a play on the words.
It's another Devolver game that I missed this year. Jesus.
Yeah, it is another Devolver game that you missed. What was the other one? Baby Steps?
Ball Pit, Baby Steps.
Oh, okay, so 3. Got it.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's okay, because I did play another Devolver game this year that isn't not a game that came out this year. So
Are you talking about Quarantine Zone?
no.
Oh, okay.
That looks really pretty. Skate Story.
Skate
Damn,
Stories.
There's a lot of heat.
Yeah, absolute bangers on this list. Oops, all peak.
It's all bangers. I gotta send Fly Night to my one friend who plays RuneScape. They're like, yo,
It's-
check this shit.
Fly Night's really good.
Mike, did you look up any of these things?
Yeah, I'm looking at them all right now.
And some of these are on console, like Skate Story and Hades 2.
Yeah.
Which Hades 2 released a physical copy, and it's not a game keycard.
Hades. I do like. I mean, I know Hades 2 is for people who liked Hades and just want more.
Yeah,
Which is fine.
yeah. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. I think Unbeatable, Ina, and Skate Story are my top 3. With Skate Story probably being my number 1. I think Skate Story looks like a fucking work of art in any one screenshot and in movement. And the artistic vibes are off the fucking chart. And just the way that it approaches its art style works really well. The Skate Story is probably my number 1 personally.
How are you feeling, Mike? What are you thinking?
What would I say? I mean, I would say Ina, Fly Night. I'm not vibing on Skate Story as strongly as Brandon is. I mean,
Really?
it's a good-looking game, but I don't think it's outside of like the focal area of what you're looking at while you're playing. Like, I think like a lot of the stuff that's around it is not as compelling.
You said you don't like the abstract look of it.
I don't mind the abstract look of it, but I also feel it reminds me so much, and this is not a slight against the thing. It reminds me a lot of, I know I said it before. Why am I Shadows of the Damned?
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe it gave me.
But I think the big thing is though, is like, it's really like, there's nothing, pretty much everything I've seen from this game, there's like nothing going on in the background. Like, it's all just kind of like what's in front of you.
I kind of completely disagree, especially the open world. You know what? Nope. I'm not having this. I'm not having this. I refuse to have this. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Because this is a game that is so pretty and so inventive that I have video footage of this game. I'm streaming this. This is the first time I'm actually doing this. This is actually kind of crazy. See if this works.
I thought you were grabbing a clip. I didn't think you were playing it for him.
No, I'm not playing it right now. I have a full 10-minute clip of the world of this game from when I was streaming it before. So I'll just wait till you guys get in. I don't know if you can actually see the video. We're gonna see if it works.
I can see it.
I'll wait for Mike
This
now.
is Dark Souls skateboarding.
Yeah, kinda. All right. So I'll just play some of the actual video.
Oh.
By the way, I was very bad at this when I was trying to play it. So this is like a whole open area, open world element of the game, because there are a lot of places before doing quests and things where you just have open range to skateboard and do tricks and shit in the game itself, and also to do little miniature quests and stuff. I thought this element of it, this whole huge city, this little open area city element where there's many different ones of it that you can see throughout the entire game was really cool and was really interesting the way that it's done. Like, yeah, it's abstract and it's like the elements of a city done in like wireframe in some cases, but also there's a lot going on here. Like, you have big high-rise buildings, you have like these like spirit trees and stuff, you have like the souls of the damned on the ground and stuff everywhere, you have these different buildings you can go inside of. I thought this was fucking cool. And there's a lot of different areas like this where you can explore this element of the game. And I liked it because of that, because the multiple different like world areas in between chapters where you could go and explore different parts of it. I thought the art style was fucking cool. And the different things you can do and see. Because it ranges vastly between each little hub world. And as you like you go further into the game, which I don't want to get into spoilers because this is actually a very interesting story as well. As you go further into the game, the world becomes more disjointed and starts to fall apart more, and the like hub areas become less about being cohesive and more about being just like the elements of a place. And then on top of that, you also have like the sections where you can go. You have the sections that Mike was talking about before, where the stuff around you as you're speeding through the quest and whatnot don't matter, and it is just like an abstract void outside, but the hub worlds are where the artistic style really comes together and shows off a lot of different things. I liked that. I thought it looked really good. I thought it was really impressive. And then on top of it, you also have those, high-speed skating sections that are less of the hub world and more of like a curated, you're going to go from this point to this point sort of deal, and it more simplistic. So I don't know. I just think this game is incredible when it comes to its atmosphere and artistic approach.
Yeah,
I just wish the foot. Okay, cool.
What'd you say?
He's just said no. That's basically what he said.
Yeah, I said I'd give it to Ina. That's what I said. I think Ina is probably the stronger art style.
You know what it is for me with Skate Story? I like the way it looks. I don't know if I like the way it's presented and like I guess how it looks in motion, like the frame. I don't know if the frame rate's the correct word to use.
No, the frame rate's really good. Like,
but it's it feels weird.
It might be the camera angle, maybe.
Well, that too.
It has like a weird like fishbowl kind of look to the camera.
It's supposed to look like a skate video,
Which I understand, but I just think I feel like if I were to be playing it like myself, I feel like I would need to play it in small bits, just because I feel like it might just like hurt my.
It's only like 6 hours.
Yeah. I know, like I'd probably play like an hour and be like, "Ooh, this is too much."
Yeah, no, I don't think that's. I think that's weird. I think that's a skill.
I mean, that's fair.
But yeah, I would say in terms of these art styles, I think Ina's probably the most creative. Like I like the mix of like the cartoon and the.
Oh, I do agree with that. The like rotoscoped like shit that they have in there as well.
Yeah,
I do like that. I like a nice rotoscoping.
Fly Night, I think, has a nice. I actually kind of like the old school look that they're going through there because it actually, even though they have some things that are obviously like lower frame rates, so like it looks like it's pretty stable overall. Like it's got a nice like feel.
So the lower frame rates are on purpose. You can actually
I know
that.
Yeah, like it's very deliberate for some of those things. But I'm saying like for like certain people or whatever, obviously lower frame rates, but it looks like the overall frame rate for the game looks pretty stable.
Oh, it's very stable.
Yes. Yeah, it looks really nice. Unbeatable. I mean, I like how they did like the hand drawn like look to it. I think that looks nice. 82, honestly, it's pretty looking, but it's not terribly exciting to me. On that side, we already talked about Skate Story. Metroid Prime 4, like I said, I think it has some nice environments. Like Volt Forge, I think was incredible.
I think its HDR is awesome. I think the HDR on Metroid Prime 4 is incredible.
Yeah. So, but yeah, those would be my my thoughts on this category.
So what would you give it to?
Ina. That's what I said.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I'm down for that. Ina is a very, very it stands out. It stands out. That's probably the best way to describe it. and it's very different. Again, we did mention earlier, like early access, and this is part 1 of how many ever parts. This is a kind of this game is kind of like a passion project. So like the people that are working on it are getting together and like making it whenever they have free time and taking their time on it. So we only have episode 1 of we don't know how many or how long until the whole thing is completed. So there is that to keep in mind. But what we do have here, at least from an art style perspective, is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I agree with Ina Barbecue. Dream Barbecue.
Okay.
Well, how do you feel about Ina, Nick?
Also like how that looks. Eat a barbecue. It looks really cool. I know I like Hades a lot, but also like I feel like it's unfair to kind of put it in here because it is just more of Hades 1, like artistically. Like they didn't really do much to deviate from that formula. So like while that still looks very, very pretty, I'd rather give it to something else that's new. But no, I agree with the thoughts about Ina. Fly Knight, I mean, Fly Knight's fucking rad. That's so cool.
Fly Knight is rad. I think Ina should win in Fly Knight, and well, I want Skate Story, but I don't think we're gonna. Well, then again, me and Nick could just be like, no, fuck you. Ina can win, and then Skate Story and Fly Knight. It's simple.
If that's what you want to do, that's what you can do. I don't care.
You want to do that, Nick?
Fuck it. Run it.
Yeah, run it.
Okay. So best artistic approach, Enid Dream Barbecue takes the win. With runners up, what do we say? Fly Knight and Skate Story?
Skate Story. Yep.
Okay. There we are. All right, next category. Best story. Nominees are Expedition 33, Silent Hill F, Dispatch, and Unbeatable. And obviously this category has potential for spoilers.
Yeah, it does. Nick, what are you thinking about all of this? Let's run through here. So I know you played Expedition 33, and that's the first one we're starting with.
Expedition's the one I've played the most of.
To
the point where I got into the story, I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I don't know if I'll return to it, knowing what I know now.
Yeah, I understand, but we're looking at this from a story perspective.
No, so for sure. No, for sure. The story itself is very intriguing. And it's very interesting to me.
What is the story, Nick? That's what we're here for. Because this is the best story.
You want me to explain it?
Yes, and then I will interject because I know stuff as well, but I will not spoil too much.
All right. So. Well, damn. Shit. Go ahead, because I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember enough to string together a thought that makes sense.
So the general point of Expedition 33, and I will go ahead and give you the rundown, is that there is this evil witch sorceress lady known as the Paintress. And every year, a person that is of this specific age, starting with one age, and now we've gotten to the 33 age, these people will lose their life once it's their birthday. They will be painted out of existence because of the way that the Paintress works. And they have this thing where these people get gommaged, as they call it, where everyone meets up and they come together and they have this kind of like going away celebration of one's life. And the whole point of this game is kind of, to make a difference in your life, like find your reason for existing. And there's different people that have different reasons. Like, for instance, one of the characters that goes along with you on the Expedition 33, which is the 33rd expedition. Well, not the 33rd. It's actually more than that, but that's getting into too much. But anyway, the reason for you is you want to stop the Paintress once and for all. You want to make it so no one else will have to give their life when the next year rolls around, and so on and so forth. So more people can exist. Some people, they want to be able to actually, some people that want to be able to like actually have a family or actually live and make something of themselves and have that chance to be able to do do so. Some people choose not to do so because they realize that it's meaningless to bring someone else into this world when they're just going to die younger and not be able to actually live their life, and this, that, and the other. And it's all about a story of discovery where you and everyone have this general idea of what it's like out there and what you have to do to stop this and make it so other people can exist later on down the line and live their lives. And it's kind of like a suicide mission essentially for you and your team of expeditioners. And you guys have all kind of come to accept that, but you want to be able to give other people a chance to live. And it's a very, very heart-wrenching story with how it's presented and seeing all the horrible shit that's happened to people and how this world exists because of these rules that have been created in it. It's a very good story too, and it's a lot different from what we see nowadays when it comes to stories. And I think that's the thing that makes it so important and so makes it so well done. There are a lot of twists and turns here that kind of change your characters and other people's outlook on how the world actually exists outside of their little bubble that they exist in. And that's interesting as well, as you find out later on in the game. And there are other relationships that are formed and other information that you find out after you leave your initial home, that things aren't quite what you guys have been taught to believe, and so on and so forth. And then you've got to come to terms with those decisions and make some other very important choices. I really don't want to spoil this game because I do think the story is the only thing that really causes it to hold up, in my opinion. I think if what I have explained already doesn't make you interested in the idea of this story, that you're not going to care about it. And I think that it's enough to give you going into this to let you know if you will care about this story or not. And that's kind of Expedition 33.
Okay.
It's very good. That's really the only thing I can say about it. I want to go to Silent Hill F now, and I'm not... again, there are some games here that I just don't want to spoil, and I'm going to kind of dance around a lot of the information, but give you enough so that you can know, hey, this sounds really interesting. This sounds like a really good story. This sounds pretty cool. So Silent Hill F is a game that takes place in the 1960s in old Japan, and you play as a girl who is having to deal with these untold horrors that have befallen your town. However, if you've ever played a Silent Hill game, you know that everything is a metaphor for something else. And what this game is a metaphor for is actually very inventive and very different from any of the other Silent Hills, I think. I do think that this is going to be one of those games in the future that is going to be like a cult classic and probably will be like one of the most loved Silent Hill games ever right now. And people are just too stupid to understand that yet. So there's that. Going on from that, essentially, you leave and you go to meet up with some friends, and this fog befalls the town. These, fungus spore-like creatures kind of also attack the town. You guys are trying to just live and escape all this shit. And then you witness something happen to someone, and after such, you have your first encounter with a boss monster thing. After doing so, you end up passing out and you wake up in another world. In this other world, you're being led by this fox spirit man who is essentially helping you along the way, teaching you things about their culture and this, that, and the other, and kind of in a way helping shape you so that you can take on the things on the other side and you can learn more about the world and whatnot and be able to defeat these monsters and these spirits and whatnot that you're dealing with in the real world. Essentially, anytime you pass out in the real world, you wake up in this spirit world, and this fox spirit continues to guide you along and teach you about its people and bring you to do things. And as you are doing these things, you start to notice that maybe this person isn't here to help you like you think they are, and maybe you're being manipulated in some way. And what comes from that line of thinking, and also what you learn about the city just in general, like the village just in general that you live in, is um, very important. And I think the world building is immaculate in Silent Hill F. It's very smart. It's very well done. There's a lot that kind of ties the idea of this village, as well as your character and the stuff going on around your character, into the same kind of general ideas you have for every other Silent Hill game. And it's very impressive how you get to that point. And it's a very, very good story, very well written and handled very well. And it pretty much carries the entire game. A lot of people don't understand what it's saying, but I'm literally just going to chalk that up to people are dumber now. And
That's valid.
people want it to be, oh, the strong female lead, I want to be angry at this, when that's not the case. There's a lot more going on here. And the whole aspect of you playing as this teenage woman is very important to the actual story that is going on at hand here. And I really want people to play this game. Like, please play this game. It's very, very, very good. It's super polarizing right now. It seems like everyone that likes Silent Hill hates this game. And you know what they say about Silent Hill fans? They're really excited to finally play Silent Hill. So
That's how I feel
so
about Fallout fans with the Fallout TV show.
that's how I feel about Persona fans. But yeah, yes, it's so. I've come to realize that most people only see Silent Hill as Silent Hill 2, and because of that, they really don't understand what Silent Hill really is. And the actual director of this game came out, not the director of this game, but like the director of the original Silent Hill came out and was like, yeah, so I told the person that made this game that like Silent Hill is a state of being. It's not just a place. So anything can be Silent Hill. And this person took that and ran with it, essentially. They did a really, really good job. There's a lot of things in this game that are very graphic in a way that you don't see in modern video games. And that is very impressive with what the subject material is and how they handled it still. And I really, really don't want to spoil things for this one, because I do think that I've given enough away here from what I've explained to give you a general idea of the story. Like I said, TLDR is shit's happening in your city. Whenever a big event happens, you wake up in another world. That other world is like a spirit world. You have a spirit guide that walks you through how to do things. You see that essentially the things that you're doing may actually be a ritual and not to help you. And hey, maybe that's not so good. And what comes from that is super interesting. So yeah, cool. You know, occultic stuff, shit like that. Neat world. Just play Silent Hill F, please. Dispatch. Sorry, my brain broke for a second. Dispatch is the latest Telltale-like game that is very well made, story-wise. However, I would say this is a very easy story to follow. The general idea of this story is you are a superhero who does not have any superpowers, but a suit has been passed down between your family for generations, and you are the person who has inherited this suit. You go after this villain, and they take your suit out of commission. It is completely wrecked. you're kind of down on your luck. You're kind of in the fucking gutter. One of the major superhero teams, like their leader, she shows up, takes you out to drinks, and after saving you from like a fight, it seems kind of natural, but it's not. You're just a dude on the street, and you think, "Hey, I got saved by the superhero woman," but no, it's all a recruitment thing. But they're not recruiting you to be part of a normal team. They're recruiting you to be a dispatcher. You're a dispatcher that selects what heroes go out and do and try to solve what crimes and track down what villains and this, that, and the other. And you act kind of like a normal dispatcher would, sending them to their locations, telling them what they need to do, how to handle this, which ways to go, and who you're going to pair with who to try to take on these different problems. However, the general like twist here that isn't even really a twist because it gets explained within the first episode is the dispatch group that you are working with are villains that are being reintegrated into society by being changed heroes. So you have to deal with these people that literally were just super villains that you're now trying to make into a superhero team and dispatch them to be superheroes, but they still have all their villain tendencies. So you have to manage these people that have these really bad attitudes and are in general just pieces of shit. But you have to find a way to get them to work together so that they don't just get thrown back in jail instead. This is kind of a rehabilitation situation, and if you fail them, they're gone. But if they fail themselves, they're also gone. So it's kind of a lose-lose, but you just got to do your best to save them essentially, while also keeping your own job and keeping the team together, because you'll lose your job if your team doesn't do well, and if your team doesn't do well, they'll also end up in jail. So there's that. It's very funny. It's very well made, but it is very much like your average sitcom, your average Amazon television show, like The Boys or something like that. But the voice actors here are very good, and they do a great job with their performances. And the story is quite funny the way it unfolds, and it does have like really good writing. As good as it can be for like a superhero show. It doesn't feel like your general Marvel garbage or DC slop. It feels like it's actually trying, and it's very well made. So that's what that one is. And then the final one for best story is Unbeatable. Unbeatable is a story where music is outlawed and you do crime. That's the tagline of Unbeatable. But what makes this a interesting story is there's a reason why music has been outlawed. It's because a certain amount of decibels in the world bring about these things called the silence, which are these monsters that will ravage and destroy towns and stuff like that. And you don't really know that. You're just kind of trying to exist. You wake up, you don't know who the fuck you are, and someone brings you into their house and whatnot. But then you find out that this person is tied to law enforcement in some way, and they're a pretty big deal, and they also like to rebel. So they're like, "Hey, I just kind of want to do music and shit. I like that idea." So you guys go, and it hops back and forth between the past and the present. So a lot of the world will have you go to like the dilapidated, destroyed, run-down building, but at the beginning of the game, you'll play it when it's like an actual music concert, like a big venue, and you play it as like a past character, like the last person that performed there, and that sort of thing. And there's a connection between those people, like your family. There's a connection between that as well, and you're trying to find out what that connection is. There's a whole element where you'll get like arrested, and you'll end up meeting these other characters who got framed for what you did, and you have to break them out of jail. And then the game becomes like a prison break scenario where you're actually in jail trying to find a way out of it. And just the way these stages and things are presented. Like everything feels like a television episode, like a beginning, middle, and end,
Mhm.
or like even like a hey, to be continued, that sort of deal. It does feel like a Saturday morning cartoon a lot of the time when you're watching this, but it feels more like one that was like a consistently ongoing one, like something like Samurai Jack or something. It has that kind of feeling to it, where it's a little bit more mature, but it still feels like cartoony in the way that things are handled. And the way that this game works music into the main aspect of its story, be it, the sounds you heard or people played or the monsters that get drawn to music being played, or the fact that the entire like place that you're existing in has outlawed playing music. All of that plays into the overarching story and makes for a really inventive and interesting world that's very different from your other rhythm games, and also very different just in general from this kind of genre. And it's pretty cool. And like the way that you go from point A to point B does feel like you're like watching a movie or a TV show. And the actual story here is one that is really interesting and feels like a cohesive like cartoon, or like like Avatar or Korra or something like that. It's neat. It's very good. And the story's super cool. So yeah. There we go. I think those are as little, while still giving you the general idea of the plot of the story, as possible with all 4 of these. And I think I did a decent job. I don't know how you guys feel.
You did good. I feel bad, but you did good.
I had to do all of them. So.
You did, yeah. I do feel bad, but you did good.
Expedition, Dispatch, Unbeatable, no particular order.
Okay. Yeah, I can't reveal Silent Hill F without just spoiling everything. That's the biggest problem with Silent Hill F. I legitimately think Silent Hill F is the best story game that released last year, but I cannot
I plan on playing it this
explain
year.
it without spoiling it completely. And I don't want to spoil that game completely. So I will say Silent Hill F is my choice, with Expedition 33 and Unbeatable probably being the runner-up. But I'm not going to be able to convince anyone without fully spoiling what made that
That's
game
fine.
so
I'm cool.
impressive.
I'm cool with those 3. Like I said, that Silent Hill F is on my 2 playlists. Just because I feel like I've missed out on some good horror games between that and Resident Evil, with RE9 coming out next month.
We pretty much all agree Expedition 33 there, right? So we just give the story to Expedition 33 with Silent Hill F and Unbeatable second place. Is that cool?
I'm fine with that.
That's cool.
Cool. We
All
can do
right.
that.
That story goes to Expedition 33 with runners-up, Dispatch, and Unbeatable.
Wait, I said Silent Hill and Unbeatable.
Did you say that? Okay,
Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah, Silent Hill F
but not
and
Dispatch?
Yeah, not Dispatch. Dispatch is
Okay.
good. Dispatch is really good, like, story-wise, but yeah. I think Unbeatable is a more interesting story. I don't know. Nick, let you re-interject yourself because you were going to say something about Silent Hill F. I'm really sorry. I just wanted to get that out there so we could go ahead and like have that down in stone,
Yeah, no, you're good. No, all I was saying is that it's on my plan to play this year just because I missed it last year, and I like I said, I feel like I'm missing out on some really good horror games. So I want to get into it.
You didn't play Chronos either. Chronos is supposed to be really good.
I did not play Chronos. But I also haven't really heard much Chronos either. So
Chronos is a hidden gem.
But yeah.
Okay. So best story goes to Expedition 33 with runners-up Silent Hill F and Unbeatable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
So most anticipated upcoming game for 2026, our nominees are Resident Evil 9, Romeo is a Dead Man, Phantom Blade Zero, Vampire Crawlers, Grand Theft Auto 6, 007 First Flight, and The Dusk Bloods. So there they are.
Yep.
That's what they are.
There they are. Well, well, we already know GTA 6 is going to fix gaming. So
yes, that is gaming.
That's true.
Jesus.
That's true.
So that's what we got
Jesus.
to look forward to there.
My personal too, if I may.
Yeah.
And I feel like one of them is probably going to go across the board for all three of us. But Vampire Crawlers for one for me.
Oh hell yeah, brother!
100%. This is, if you haven't seen it, if you played the wonderful, if you haven't, you should. This is a first-person deck-building roguelike based off of Vampire Survivors. It's the exact same, like it's all the same assets, all the same characters, but in a deck-building first-person view. It looks fucking phenomenal. The music sounds really, really good. Do give Ponko your money because they deserve it. Vampire Survivors had me on lockdown for the longest time. It was I think, if not my game of the year that year, but like, or up there. So like that one, I'm super, super fucking hyped for. No release date yet. All we know is this year.
Yep.
And the other one that I think is going to be on all of our lists probably will be Romeo's a Dead Man.
I'm a dead man. Yeah, that's my most anticipated game actually, and it comes out in 3 weeks.
It does.
And it's only $50.
It is only $50. I just wish it kept the original styling in the trailer before it switched. You know what I mean? But like, I'm okay with it looking hyper realistic. Like, that's fine too. But like, I also would have appreciated like that super stylized look as well.
So I will say this: I have seen a preview of this, so I've probably seen more than both of you. I watched like 10 minutes of said preview. Within that 10 minutes of said preview, I saw stuff that looked like the original trailer, stuff that looked like a shoot 'em up, stuff that looked like a motion comic, and stuff that looked like the gameplay that we've seen. So don't worry, it's batshit insane, and it has a lot of different ways to be batshit insane.
Okay, good enough.
So there's that. I'm super excited for this. My 2 most anticipated games for this year both release this month.
Yeah, well, next month, because that and RE9, right?
RE9 releases. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I was thinking when this will release on Friday, so we're
this
still
release is also releases in January.
Okay. Yeah. So, all right, hold on. My 2 most anticipated games for this year both release in February, weeks apart from each other. That's what I wanted to say. RE9 and Romeo's a Dead Man release in February.
Yeah.
And then I don't know when the Duskbloods release, but I'm super excited for that too. So, there's that.
What are you excited for, Mike? Is it 007?
I think it is.
Actually, 007, I would say if I was going to pick I don't know. There's actually top 3 is kind of hard. Resident Evil 9 is the only game on this list I'm like 100% committed to probably getting. So there's that. I would say though, other games that I'm like interested that are, possibilities. 007, I think looks really good. Romeo's a Dead Man and Vampire Crawlers. Those would probably be my, I guess, top 4. But Resident Evil 9, I would say, is, like I said, that one's a definite. I don't know. I'm not like super excited for like anything yet, though, I guess, either. I think overall, I think maybe 007's maybe slightly more appealing from things I've seen already. I love Suda, you guys know that, but he's such a you don't know what the fuck you're getting until you get it. So I don't know. Romeo's Dead Man could be the most amazing game I've ever played, or like the worst game ever, and I'm not sure yet. I'm all for it, but
I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't have it any other way with Suda 51.
And then Vampire Crawlers, obviously, I have a lot of love for Vampire Survivors. So that looks really cool, but and actually, it looks like something that I probably would really dig. But it's just not on my radar at the moment. So that's just kind of where I am. But those are the games I'm most excited for. So
nice. Okay. So it sounds like we all agree on Resident Evil 9, right?
Yeah, Resident Evil 9. And I think all of us agree on Romeo as a Dead Man as well.
Yes, absolutely.
So I'll at least tentatively.
I mean, technically, all of us agreed on Vampire Crawlers also.
I'll add that to the tentative list as well, then. I'm guessing none of us are going to bite on Grand Theft Auto 6.
No, God, no.
Okay. So
I'm not even convinced it's releasing this year. I think that's
also
the
fair take
biggest
too.
thing. I'm not convinced it's actually releasing this year because we literally had someone that said from Rockstar, "Hey, oh wait, no, someone in the industry said, yeah, GTA 6 is not feature complete," and then Rockstar was like, "Oh no, don't listen to them. It's feature complete." And then literally 2 days later, "Oh god, our building exploded." It's like, what? What is going on over there?
That's part of the
That's crazy
complete
that
feature.
they're that desperate that they're like, guys, we gotta set the fucking building on fire. I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah, and then
Guys,
when it's
we're
too
not
late
gonna
again
make
later,
the
we'll blame it on
deadline.
that.
Guys, we're not going to make the deadline. Quickly blow our building up. Oh, shit.
Yeah, so at least right now we have tentative Resident Evil 9, Romeo's a Dead Man, Vampire Crawlers. Then we're gonna bite on Phantom Blade Zero.
I like Phantom Blade Zero. I think it looks really good.
Nick, are
But
you gonna...
I'm not going to convince anyone, so I don't mind dropping it.
Okay. 007.
I think 007 looks fucking awesome. It's made by the Hitman devs, and they do really good work. I really would like this to be a tentative like maybe add a this is a blue instead of a red. I don't really want to
Yeah.
drop it off because I do kind of agree with you, but I don't know, man.
No, that's fair. Dustbloods?
Yeah.
I'm not going to convince anyone this game's good, but this is supposed to be the next
That's
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne 2.
It is supposed to be Bloodborne 2, and I'm super excited for this.
Oh yeah,
And it's
well, I
a
mean,
Switch
that's definitely a game
Switch
like.
2 exclusive, so you know.
Yeah, but Bloodborne 2 is not anything that really
What
tickles
the
me and
heck?
Nick's fancy.
Yeah,
I'm
no, it's
fairly
just that's just
confident.
me. I think we all agree that Resident Evil 9 will be fucking awesome, or we hope it does. Hope it
Yeah.
is.
I think
I
Resident Evil 9 is probably the safest bet of those 4 games.
Mhm.
Everything
I'd
else
say
is
Romeo is pretty safe though too.
Romeo is safe in terms of quirkiness. Is Romeo going to be a good game? Who knows?
Oh yeah.
I like everything made by Suda, even the bad ones.
I know. I like. I mean, I like his style and everything, but he's definitely had some like shitters. What's that one? Killer's Dead. Fucking hate that game.
Oh,
I love Killer is Dead.
Love Killer is Dead.
What?
I love how jank it is. I'm just gonna be honest.
You know
Like
what's
I
funny?
recognize that game is a mess,
too
but I
jank.
love how jank it is.
To this day, me and my friend will look at each other and make the joke that trains are a man's thing.
What was that
there's a lot
one
of random
quote
shit
about
in that
the
game.
moon? Because like the dark side of the moon, there's something going on the other side of the moon or something.
That
in
was
that
like
game.
the
I
whole
can't remember what it
premise
was.
of
It
the
was
game, and I don't
there
remember
was
what
a
it
quote
was.
that was so good.
There was also like when you I don't know if either of you had the physical copy, but I had the physical copy for PlayStation 4. It had a recipe on the inside for how to make a hard-boiled egg.
Hey, you never know.
That's it. I'm installing Killer is Dead. No, that's it.
That's a good game. You're
That's
like,
a,
oh, you had
that's a
some
good ass
stinkers.
game.
You brought out the Oscar bait. Yeah, what are you talking about?
That Meatwad voice. That's a good ass game.
That is a good ass game. I mean, he does have some stinkers, but
What stinkers does Suda have?
hold on, I'm looking up his games.
Stinkers for Suda, yeah. So Killer is Dead, I would say, is up there. Travis Strikes Again. Honestly, I really did not enjoy that game. It wasn't
Okay.
bad, but
You know what?
I thought
You know
that game
what?
was.
You know what? I think you're right. Travis Strikes Again is a mess. But I do think that was kind of Hotel Barcelona was
I'll
a
say
mess
this.
in 2025.
I'll say this
Oof.
in a loving way. I do think Shadows of the Damned was a stinker only because it doesn't
I
fucking work. It doesn't work.
What do you mean by
The
it doesn't
game-
work?
Like I remember on PS and like I loaded into one of the levels and the level loaded, but none of like the enemies loaded, so it was a walking simulator level, and I was like,
I
that was
definitely
weird.
had
I
that
reloaded,
same problem.
I
had that same
reloaded the
problem on
level, and then there
PS3.
was people. I was like, oh, that was weird.
That is really
Yeah.
weird. I've never had that happen.
Yeah.
I
No, I'm
actually
not
did
saying it
have
was a
that same
bad game
issue.
in the sense of like the game like conceptually was bad. It just didn't work well.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah. The PS3 version was pretty notorious for
Yeah.
finished the playthrough on the Switch, but I didn't really run into any issues from the half of it I got through. But yeah, no, there's that one. I'm trying to think. I know some people don't love Flower Sun Rain.
I've heard
That one's
people
kind of
love that
funny.
game and wish it would
I
actually have
enjoyed
an
it.
English
I liked it a
release.
lot, but I know some people don't.
I'm gonna be
That was
honest.
really
The silver case
and
is
then the
really
silver
hard to play.
suitcase or whatever.
That silver
Yeah.
case is a really hard game. Like, I wouldn't say it's bad. I'd just say it's very, very messy and super abstract.
Yeah.
Oh, Let It Die. Let It Die was a mess.
Oh, I don't even remember that one.
It was a Souls-like that was online multiplayer only.
Yep.
And had microtransactions and other such things, and loot boxes, and multiple forms of currency, and
there's a
so
sequel
much
coming out.
other stuff. It's already out, and it flopped massively, and it wasn't made by Suda.
Correct.
It flopped so hard, and it had such bad... Okay, well, it didn't survive like a week, essentially. But also, there was a really big problem with it. The problem was you had to pay for saves.
Yeah.
So they went to Konami and went to the old whale on that one again. Yeah,
So I guess back.
I think... Oh, go on. Sorry.
I was gonna say, just back to this. Really, the only game like of the four we narrowed this down to that doesn't do a damn thing for me is 007.
Oh, well, that's fair.
I would say
Maybe
out
that's
of
the one to
I
say.
would say out of all four, it's the weakest one here.
Okay.
I've
Opinion.
never played a Hitman game. I've never played
Oh, Nick.
anything like
Nick. Let me introduce you to one of the most interesting franchises in gaming. My brother in Christ, you've got to play Hitman 3 with the DLC for Hitman 1 and 2 included. It is a triple pack. I believe they have it on Game Pass, but they also have it in other ways that you can buy it for cheaper, obviously. I highly recommend playing that game because it is so inventive, because even though there is an overarching plot, every single level is kind of like a little puzzle. Like, how will you kill your target? And there's like 27 different ways to finish the level in every single level.
Yeah. Okay.
It's really interesting the way it's designed. And the gunplay's really good. Like, really, really good.
I will try to check it out.
If you were grabbing the free PlayStation games, you might actually already have it. From one of the years.
possibly, yes.
So I would check there first.
For sure, it's possible.
But yeah, I would say my pick here is RE9 with Romeo as a Dead Man and Vampire Crawlers as the runners-up.
I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, most anticipated game for 2026 goes to Resident Evil 9 with runners up, Romeo's Dead Man, and Vampire Crawlers.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
There it is.
All right.
You guys ready to wrap up?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for listening to us tonight. Don't forget to find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google, Amazon, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. All of our episodes are on game-crunch.com. If you want to send us an email, gamecrunchcast@gmail.com. Brandon,
Yep.
any final thoughts?
So I do have one final thought. We
Okay.
are going to be skipping this category, obviously. And there's a lot of reasons for skipping this category. But please do yourself a favor and listen to the soundtracks of Unbeatable, Rhythm Doctor, Skate Story, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Expedition 33, and Mario Kart World. All of these games in 2025 had absolutely phenomenal soundtracks. Personally, my standouts are Skate Story, Rhythm Doctor, and Unbeatable, as well as Expedition 33. I would say the easiest one out of all of those to listen to is probably Skate Story. The entire thing was uploaded the same day to Spotify, and the actual creator of the album has given everyone free permission to use their music in any way they see fit. So, yeah,
That's awesome.
I highly recommend checking that album out. It's fantastic.
All right. Nick, any final thoughts for you?
No, not in particular, no.
Okay. Well, that said, my name is Mike Anastasia. You can find me online on Clash Penguin there, or on your favorite gaming console. We got one more week of Game of the Year for you with our top 10 list, so stay tuned. And until then, game on.
Games on.
Games on.
Cartridge click, loading screen glow, save file 1, here we go. Boss on the box, hype in the air, finger on start, like a silent dare. Every level got me leaning in, every failure just a way to win. Heart racing at the final door, I just keep begging it for. From the title screen to the end roll glow, you carried me further than I thought I could go. If this is all we ever get, I'd still press start again. Game of the year, every heartbeat louder than the crowd in my ear. When the last life's hanging on, I hear the tagline in my bones. Game on, game on, game on. Game Crunch's game of the year. I'll be right here when the credits appear. Still humming that victory song. Two words in my head. Game on.
Yeah, so Nintendo just randomly dropped this update for Donkey Kong Country HD Returns.
What's it do? 4K, 60 FPS, all that good jazz?
So yeah, so you get the performance update. It adds Dixie Kong in. It adds a whole new character.
Yeah.
It adds Time Attack in. So you have a whole new game mode. And it sounds like, at least from what I can glean online from the 10 to 15 minutes people have had to enjoy this so far, it may have fixed a significant multiplayer issue that has been ongoing for like 10 years. So yeah, it seems like it actually is a nice, actually
Donkey
pretty
Kong
decent
Country
update.
Return?
Yeah, Donkey Kong Country
HD.
Returns.
Yeah.
HD. So what I'm
HD.
talking about with the multiplayer
Including
issues
Dante from the
ongoing-
Don't Make Cry series.
Yes. What I'm talking about for the multiplayer issue. So the Wii version was pretty good. And then after that, they did the 3DS version. And they made a change somewhere in there to the way the multiplayer works. And basically what happens is if you're playing 2-player and let's say you're Donkey Kong and someone's playing as Diddy Kong. So you jump on a creature and it does its little like flash and then disappears. In the Wii game, you could both jump on it. So Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong could jump on it, even, obviously Donkey Kong is going a little bit faster than Diddy Kong. So timing wise, but they're at least in pretty close succession. What happened though with the 3DS and subsequently the Switch version is once Donkey Kong jumps on that creature, it's gone. Like if Diddy Kong's right behind you, he cannot jump on that and he will fall to his death. And it will keep on happening over and over and over and over again through an entire stage, especially if it's like a big platforming stage. So the second player will just infinitely die basically for the rest of the level because there's no platform for them to jump on or stand on. So that's the issue with that. It sounds like they may have fixed that with this update finally. It was not an issue in the Wii version, but it was an issue in both subsequent releases of that game. So that's a pretty big fix if they actually did go through and do that. But also just so random to go back to that game and be like, hey, we fixed up the graphics and added in a new character in a new mode. Like what? That game was not I'm sure it probably sold well because it's a Donkey Kong platformer, but it did not make waves when it came out last year. So this is a pretty decent change. And actually I would say probably makes this the more definitive version if everything is correct as it sounds. So because not only do you get the content from the 3DS game and the core game, but now you have a whole extra character, a whole extra mode, and should theoretically be pretty smooth running. So yeah, it looks pretty nice from the trailer, but hard to say. So,
Okay.
yeah. Also,
Nice.
they did side by side. The load times are like incredibly notably faster. It looked at least like 10 to 15 seconds faster than the last version. So that's pretty nice, and it's a free update too. There's no cost.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's cool. That's
So-
awesome.
yeah, totally random. Would not have guessed that they would just randomly come back to that game.
I think they also
So,
added some stuff to the Emerald Rush for Bonanza 2 for it, I was seeing.
there's a new event going on right now this week.
Yeah.
So it is in the freezer stage, and it lets you get 2 statues from Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. It's a penguin, and I think that big walrus with the horn, if I remember.
Yes.
Yeah. So I've been having a lot of fun with those. Actually, I booted up before we go, and I'm like, I just don't have the mental capacity for this right now, and then turned it off. But I love Emerald Rush. I think it's a lot of fun. So, yeah, so that's that. Anything else you guys got at the moment?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay, that's all I got. So, yeah, so next week we'll finish it up. We'll go from there.
Yep, sounds good.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Next week's gonna be the time I actually finally fight. So it won't just be me being like, "Oh, this game is this. This game is." I'm gonna be like, "No, you motherfucker! This is number 3."
Sure, Brandon.
It's coming. I know it is. I know I'm gonna have to fight hard for some things, but it's coming.
Yeah, I mean, I never know how these lists are going to show up or end up when we set out this part. So it'll be interesting to see how it all ends up coming together.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, there is that.